I'd like to call the meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. We are meeting, this is a meeting of the City of Laredo Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. And we are meeting at the Parks and Recreation Administrative Office at 2201 Piedra China here in Laredo, Texas. The approximate time right now is 5:56 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting to order, and I'll go ahead and I'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance followed by the roll call.
All right. Here.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and start the roll call. First, Pancho Averill, not here.
Not present.
Luis Ramirez,
Absent.
absent. Is vacant. Victor Vasquez, District 3.
Here.
Rafa Martinez, District 4.
Absent.
Joe Barron from District 5.
Present.
Ruben Bazan from District 6.
Absent.
Salvador Hernandez, District 7.
Present.
And Francisco Javier Diaz from District 8. All right, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Again, good to see you, everyone. Again, I know we haven't met in a couple of months or so. We had our busy season of November, December, which is our Christmas time, and we're all over the place trying to organize events and all that. But thank you all for being here. I don't think you want to go ahead and follow Mr. Vasquez with approval of the minutes, and then we'll jump over into the public. I don't think anybody's on the public comments, and then we'll go from
The
there.
minutes will require an approval.
Yeah,
which-
you're right,
Which
you're
we
right.
cannot take at this time. There's no quorum. However, we can hear the, can we hear public comments? No, either, right? Not.
Presentation.
So we're just gonna jump into staff reports,
Okay,
and we can only hear the presentation portion without taking any item.
that's correct.
Any action on any items. So we'll go ahead and initiate the staff reports.
Okay. All right. Again, thank you all for being here. Let me go ahead and introduce our number one. So, one of the things that we started that we wanted to some years when we came on board, and Anita and I, and then Tommy came on some years back, was to expand our services. Okay. And one of the populations that we wanted to expand with was to all needs, the special need kids, all needs. All right, because last year, a year and a half ago, I took a class, certified public manager, and I had to write a practicum. And one of the things that as I was going to the city council meetings, a lot of citizens were coming out. Well, it's because we don't have the services, and not just talking about us, about Parks and Rec, from anything from health department and all that. So I said, you know what? Let me write my practicum on special needs and all inclusions and all that, right? And it was very, very interesting. I mean, even though I'm a former educator, I never worked on that side of the spectrum, on that, but I would see, and I had a lot of respect for those people that work with special need kids from all different types of needs. And then I looked into other cities, and man, we are so behind how other communities have all these programs, and we just have a slide that has one adaptive thing for it, right? But they need programming. So we started little step by step. Once I took that class, and I saw how we grow. We started with offering to swimming. So we started with we have autistic for swimming, adaptive swimming that they do they do it Mondays, and we started with that. And then said we need to get somebody that really we want to expand this, right? So we went to budget last year, and we want to expand to inclusion. We got the blessing of the council and the mayor. So we got budgeted a department for a coordinator, manager for special needs. And it opened up in October. We moved on it quick because I know we wanted to get this thing started. And we interviewed, I think it was in January when they interviewed. Was it late at the end of the year, right? And we had some interviews, and I'm trying to put it in pressure, but I think we hit the jackpot. We hit the jackpot with Ms. Sanchez. she comes from a lot of experience, and Jenny, you can kind of give yourself a little bit more introduce. She's a former educator, former assistant principal, former teacher, working way up. I'm sorry you were talking with her a little bit. And more importantly, she brings a lot of energy and enthusiasm. All right, and that's what we need. This is what we need. She works under she's under Anita as her immediate supervisor, but we somehow we always interact with our ideas. We have 3 former educators here that we used to, so we know what's out there. We know we work at the school district, and not just with the school not just for kids, adults as well, but also for adults as well. And we hired her, but I feel sorry for her because we are starting this from the very bottom up. So she's got her hands full. Our next step is to get her staff. All right, hopefully get her staff for the next budget. And she's already looking into. She's already met with a couple of people from the different school districts. She's already opened that door, made the connection. They had their first meeting a couple of weeks ago. So when I walked in and saw this thing, oh my gosh, it seemed like a teacher was here. So I'm going to introduce you to Jenny Sanchez. She's going to give you all a presentation of where we're heading with this department, okay? All right, thank you, Jenny. Go ahead.
Yes.
All yours.
Hi everyone, I'm Jenny. I usually have my own like walk-up music, but I forgot my Beats pill, so I'll take your applause right now. Yes, my name is Jenny Sanchez. I'm the special needs manager. Although I'm just gonna tell y'all, I GTP'd my goals as a, and I think that we could start thinking of the other titles for my position. There's like Captain of Cool, there's Master of Fun, Vibe Manager, Hype Specialist, Adventure Engineer, Fun Architect, and Master of Merriment. I mean that's AI agree. Okay, so I'm already like creating my own vibe, right? So I got here and I was excited because I'm a fan of our parks and rec centers anyway. I have 10,000 pictures in my phone of all the different parks because I love nature and I love, that Laredo has this to offer. Right, I've showed you I'm like, I have this picture, I have that picture. I've been going to the Kite Festival for years. So I come in here as a fan. I am a recovering high school administrator, so, but I'm like, it's just time to move on. But I love being an educator. I was an English teacher, a theater director, an assistant principal for 16 years. So, and I oversaw special ed for about 12 of those, about 14 of those 16 years. So I have a lot of experience in the special ed background from different spaces, right? Creating programs, understanding budget, that kind of stuff. But I knew that once we started this programming that we had to have like some energy behind it. So good thing I'm like sort of my own energy machine. But we called it Laredo All In because for this to work, we need everyone to be part of this. This is going to take an all-inclusive effort of ourselves, of our staff, of our rec centers, of our parks. But it's going to take the community. It's going to take our everyone, at City Hall. It's going to take private businesses to help fund us. I mean, it's going to take everyone because to move forward, it's not free, right? And also, just that kind of support builds momentum. So this is Laredo All In, okay? Like team on 3, okay? Just kidding. Okay. So Laredo Parks and Rec is all in. We're committed to providing diverse recreation programs and activities that enhance the quality of life for people with disabilities, okay? That is our most basic goal, but we're beyond that, right? So if you'll notice, the compass became the symbol, because the compass is a timeless symbol of guidance and direction. It reminds us to stay grounded, it helps us navigate uncertainties and challenges. The compass inspires us to align with our values, which here is service, right? And also like entertainment, we're the entertainment group, right? And move forward with clarity, purpose, and resolve. It serves as a beacon, as a reminder, right? Encouraging us to trust the journey while keeping our goals in sight. Because there's a lot of unknown here, from logistics to, I think, risk management and I are gonna have conversations. I just think that we're moving into this unknown, so we have to trust the process, like dig in and move through it, because it's not always gonna be pretty, but we're in it, right? We're all in, okay. Oh, sorry. So, and why does it matter? Why does it matter that we move forward? Well, first of all, let me just tell you, the research tells us that persons with disabilities lives 20 years less than our able-bodied counterparts. So if you're walking in here and you don't have a disability, you're already living 20 years longer. But not only that, we know that the stress levels are higher, fitness is less, Obesity levels are higher with persons with disabilities, but we know that they are not making contact with society as much. So there's also a higher incidence of depression. And so it is important that we do move forward in this area, especially post-COVID, right? We're all struggling a little bit. But so we know that recreational activities become a powerful tool for overall well-being. So this is not just about physical fitness, this is mental fitness as well, right? Providing that recreation isn't a luxury, but a vital aspect of a healthy, fulfilling life. Adaptive inclusive recreation isn't just about activities, it's about building a strong supportive community. It's about social connections, supporting a healthy lifestyle. It's about disability empowerment. It's about mental wellness. It's about meaningful connections. So this is like an all-in wellness. And I'm gonna tell you, not only is our community members with disabilities gonna be better for it, but we're gonna be better for it. You're gonna thank me later. I'm just kidding. So right now we have a solid foundation. I'm speaking to the choir, but I have to just say I'm a fan, of our Parks and Rec. First of all, we have a commitment to service, and meeting with Ms. Stanley has been just a wonderful place, because she comes from a place of like, not just what do we need, it's what do we want? What do our citizens want? What will make it fun? What makes them want to get out? And I love that. I'm telling you, I'm like the vibe manager here. I'm a hype person. So we already have 8 fully functioning rec centers for a nominal fee. As I'm comparing us to different parks and rec centers, okay, sure, there's some things going on in other cities, but they're also charging about 4 times as much as we're charging, 3 to 4 times as much. So we have a nominal fee, $50 for a year, right? We have 2 senior centers, free. Like you literally just need to walk in and register. Am I missing something there, right? I keep on asking that question. Are you sure it's all free? I was at Faskin and it was rocking on Friday, man. We're like dancing. We're like it was all in. So free. They just walked in. They're all wearing their pink and their red. It was like, a party. We have a boxing gym. I have yet to go there, but they're gonna see me. I love that. So, and we have our Haynes Center, and we have a lot of different, I could go on and on about our different rec centers. But Haynes Center has an adaptive gym that was started, and now we're gonna look to complete that in the next couple of months. It's gonna be amazing. People are already excited. I spoke to Carla Cortez from the stroke support group, and you know what? She was like, I had noticed there had been chairs in there before, and we walked in there, and there was like nothing in there. Like, in other words, people are looking, and we're gonna make this amazing. They're going to love this gym. We're gonna be the only gym, by the way, like this here in Laredo. So. Take out your pocketbooks. Okay. Open up the floodgates of cash. Okay. Look, we already serve a variety of classes that are already inclusive. I talked to 7 instructors who all said, hey, somebody comes in here who needs some modifications, I'm okay with that. Like, I can do that. So we are already providing that. There's Tai Chi classes 3 times a week for free at the Haynes Center. That's amazing. My mom is gonna be there at 9 a.m. tomorrow to register. I'm making her, she's 69 years old, it's free. Come on now, like, there's no reason not to, right? We have, I call it Fitness Fun with Eloy, every Friday. He's already doing this service. He's the supervisor at the Rec Center Northeast Hillside, and he's already doing that. I'm probably gonna do some more with him, but he's already doing that. The parents love him, they trust him, there's energy there, like, we're rocking. How many parks? I put 100 plus parks on it. I made that up, but
That's right.
okay.
You're right.
Just checking.
You're right.
And I'm a fan. I take my mom, who struggles with her own health, to Bartlett. It has become a place that is very special to my family because we love the pond, of course. There's 2 bathrooms. Like, everything's functional. Guys, we appreciated this before I even got this job. I loved it. We have our adaptive park, which is phenomenal in North Central Park, right? Phase 2 is about to begin. Is that correct?
That's
We're rolling. Okay. Pools. I love our pools. I was that person who swam the lap pools. I did aqua Zumba, so I'm loving it. But we have already the lifts, we have the ramps, we have the 0 grade entry, we have the adaptive swim class. But guys, we already know this isn't enough. I walk into this knowing that this committee has already decided we have to do more. So they've already started doing the research, and I'm just trying to not disappoint them. We know it's time for more. So guys, this is beyond inclusion. This is beyond creating an adaptive class. This is about making every person in our community feel valuable, feel like they belong. So this is beyond inclusion, okay? We're way beyond that. Alright, so some of our goals are, we've already started this, enhancing our website so we get out there, so people know who we are, we look attractive online, and they wanna, join. And we're gonna add our adaptive inclusive recreation section with an inclusion clause. We do have to work through some stuff as we create these classes. We need to make sure we have the support staff or a caretaker that comes in, right, with our different members. It needs assessment for members, and I'll show you all that in a minute. And so as we move forward, I'm gonna show you, we have 1,000 ideas, right? I will sit in her, and we're like vibing, but then at the end of the day, what does the community want, right? So I was talking to somebody, I had a lot of ideas, and they're like golf, and I was like, see, I wasn't thinking golf, but okay, I got you. So that's why we are gonna move forward with the needs assessment, and I'll show you that at the end. We're gonna complete our adaptive gym at Haynes Center. We're gonna provide a variety of adaptive classes monthly, and again, Miss Stanley put the bar high. She's like, we don't wanna charge extra. And I love that, because if you're gonna help somebody, like truly help them. Our citizens with, our community members with disabilities already have a hefty, often medical, needs, they're taking time off of work, there's already a strain on them, so if we're gonna help them, we're gonna help them. If it means we have to come up with a scholarship fund, or if other ways to help fund people, then we're gonna find that way, but Miss Stanley was like, we're gonna keep it, so they come in, I'm like, alright, I'm just gonna make myself so exciting that people wanna volunteer, but you know what, interestingly enough, I've already had some people rolling in on that, I'm like, let me have you fill out our form. We're gonna provide specialty events, and classes for 18 plus, right? So it's sort of one thing to provide classes for our high school and younger group, but we know we have a whole adult population who's wanting to do mature things, we're gonna do fun things. And if we could do a sip and paint, I would love that. I'm just kidding. Unless we can, just kidding. I'm just kidding. So we wanna look at our mature group, because we still wanna keep them hopping and vibing and feeling good. We do realize that we probably need to do some type of awareness and sensitivity training with our staff, and this includes everyone, and mostly because our rec centers are just rocking and rolling with a small group, and you would think there's more people in there, but they're just doing a great job. But we need to make sure that everybody's on the same page. We're looking at adaptive sports, basketball, wheelchair basketball, sitting volleyball, tennis. When I was talking to Miss Stanley, I keep on staring at her, I'm like, hey, no pressure. I was like, if it was like your wildest dream, what would you do? And she said wheelchair basketball, and I'm like, heck yeah. So I have a brother-in-law who went to college on a wheelchair basketball scholarship. And so I had him roll it through Haynes, and he gave us some feedback. And I think this is something we can do. We're looking to start purchasing some basketball wheelchairs to just get it started. Again, we needed to raise some cash here, We're looking at adaptive bikes. We have great trails. I'm a cyclist. I do, I've ridden all of our bike trails. And we're looking to say, okay, we already lend out bikes. We already have some cool bikes that we're sending out, but we do realize that we could use some adaptive bikes. 3 adaptive bikes, by the way, did I give you a final price on that? I didn't, because I was scared to, but it's like $12,000, right? But $12,000 to get, families out there together is special. So I'm sort of rolling through it, but I hope you all see the picture here. We all, okay. So some of our adaptive or inclusive activities include nature walks, art classes, open gym, dances, right? I put Mardi Gras next to my campus from New Orleans. Social connections, dance classes, swim days, gardening, cooking classes, adaptive sports, bocce, which is, something that we are already investing in. That's a cool adaptive game of sorts that's actually an Olympic sport. And I will show you all that later on, but also we're looking at our local events. Yes? Ms.
Sanchez, I'm just gonna interrupt briefly, but Mr. Martinez responded that he's unable to be here, so which we will not have quorum, but we can proceed with the presentation.
Okay, alright. Thank you. So we're gonna look at our local events, our kite festival, our WVCA events that we're involved with, right, our marathon. Are we adding aspects of it that include all members of the community? And I love all of our 5Ks, but what if we did like a 1 mile, like Glory Mile, that somebody sponsors that isn't, we don't charge anybody for, so let's see what we can do. But this is some of our activities. Again, great ideas and thought, but what does our community want? So I did create a needs assessment that we've already started pushing out into the community. LISD, UISD, Ruth B. Cal, our own rec centers, and so, oh look, let me see. That's our needs assessment, and any one of you here could fill this out if you feel like this, you know, has, if it connects to anybody in your family. I also put the QR code over there, but I say QR code it and look at those questions. You know, some of the questions we ask is, even if, have you had a negative experience at one of our rec centers? Has it not been as accessible as we, you know, think it is? Has there been a problem that we need to address? What are some barriers to you showing up to some of our events? I even included like social barriers, like I just don't feel like I'm welcome. I'm insecure about it. Or is it transportation? Is it money? Is it because you don't know what we're doing? You know, we asked all the hard questions so that we have to do some reflection right on ourselves and do better. But we're a crowd that loves to do better, so we're good. Any questions? Is everybody in?
So I've got a comment. I know that Jenny mentioned briefly golf, but I received a call today. I was at a lunch meeting with Border Olympics, and Jenny's like now, going. And she says, Coach, who runs the max? And I
Do
said,
we
the
have
city
that?
does. I said, okay, so boom, she goes off like on a woo, 3-minute goal setting thing, and she finally realized, oh, I'm sorry, are you busy right now?
I know, like, wait, are you eating?
So-
My bad.
So I told her, yes, we'll get together, we'll talk about it, let's expand on it. So, yeah, that's Jenny for you right there. That's
I'm still learning what our facilities are, and I was like, shut up, we have a golf course? You know, like, you know, I should know that, y'all.
So she already has ideas on how to incorporate golf.
Yeah,
So-
and you know, just by talking to people, you know, I've gone to Haynes several times, and I've sat there, I ran into a bunch of ex-teachers, and, who retired, and just listening to people and talking to people. And by the way, there's great feedback. We get a lot of good, people love going to Haynes. I just ran into Miss Mendiola, who's my math teacher, Elsie, and she's there every day with her sister, and they're just moving and grooving. And so she's like, we're gonna try to get into the yoga class, but the yoga class, guess what, is hopping at Haynes. It's packed every month, so we're trying to figure out how can we expand that class. But that's cool, like they're there all the time. And so she's excited about the idea of us expanding. But not only that, you know what she said, you know what, I'm an ex-educator. If y'all have classes here, you know, if you're doing an adaptive class or something, I'll help. Like my sister and I will volunteer, and I'm like, cool. See, that's how connecting to those ex-teachers, right? Those retired teachers sort of worked out. And so it's interesting, it's good for all of us. And I guarantee you, when she helps us and we help our community, everyone's gonna feel good on the other side of that. So I think it's all good stuff. So, you know, everyone just open up your pocketbooks and let it flow.
Okay, I think that's a request coming up pretty soon.
You know how to keep on. And you know, by the way, I put all this here because I believe in play. I believe that if we're a rec center, we gotta be like the vibe, the hub of fun. And that by tinkering, by, you know, trying out different things, we're starting to see, like immediately I saw one of these things, this one that does like the little marble run. It goes on here, it just didn't stick. But they were working together, Tommy and Chris, and it was like magical, you know, because I looked at that like, hell no, give me the sidewalk talk, you know. But it's important that we do this stuff so that we understand that the population that we're serving is vast. You know, if it was up to me, I'd put everyone in theater stuff and we'd be all merry. But I know that there's the Lego people that, I guess, you know, not that person, but, you know, the people who enjoy the water sports, the parks, you know, I am that person. So we're trying to make sure that we look at everything. And when it comes to our rec centers, as time is Stanley, I'm looking at STEM, right? Your science, technology, engineering, that group of people, persons, the arts, my people, and the athletics, right? So when I'm sort of coming from that scope, so that we're hitting all those different areas, because rec centers encompass all of that. It's not just the athletics. So, although I clearly need to get in there, but you know, but it's been just a fun start to my job. I've been in a month, so I just got my business cards. I'm very
did you?
excited. I'm legit.
She's official.
I'm official. So I actually did hand out my business card, but I'll put my cell phone number on the board also, so y'all can get a hold of me if you need anything. But thank you. Any questions?
Ms. Sanchez, we want to welcome you to the Parks family, and
Thank you.
This is half of the Parks Board, and it's great to hear the plans that you have, and we're excited to continue hearing more and the changes that you can bring to the Parks Department. I'll tell you, I've known him for the amount of years that I've been here, already 8 years on the board, but it's a professional and very remarkable staff, and they give it their best. So I know that just with hearing your presentation right now, I know that you have a good vision for it, and look forward to hearing more of it, and then helping you how we can fund it. Ultimately, our work is to go back to our appointees and pushing on these projects to come into
Sweet.
reality.
Yeah, and the goal is to just meet the needs, right? And we're just a lovely community anyway. I'm a group, my family moved in here while I was in high school. I'm a Martin High School grad, and I chose to stay here.
Oh, never
And
mind.
so, Where are you from? Where are you from?
Alexander.
It's okay. I spent this
But
past
I know
year at
I'm
Alexander.
unnumbered, so.
No, but you know what? I just spent a year at Alexander, so it was lovely. But I think that, as we move forward, it's going to be just a fun time for us also. And it's going to be, I chose to stay in Laredo because of this, feeling of family, right? This coziness. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Coach will provide us a status report on the Buena Vista Sports Complex.
Thanks, and good job. Yeah, is there?
Coach, I don't know how you're gonna follow that, Coach.
Yeah.
I know, I'm gonna be hopping around too. I can hop around too.
We need to do music, like entrance music.
I can hop around too. Okay, is there, do you have the pin drive? Is it in here?
I don't.
Let me see.
Or you know what, Joe, I have it. So, well, Joe, it's in my file. Am I logged on?
No, you have to log out. You can
Who's logged on?
log me out.
Is it Jenny logged on?
I think so.
Were any of you on the Super Bowl?
Or did you have the pin drive? Who has the pin drive?
Is it in your desk?
Did I leave it there? No? I gave it to
No,
someone.
the pin drive is right there.
Oh, here, Joe.
What do y'all
No, don't
mess
worry.
with? Anything that y'all take
Pin
from
drive is here?
here?
Yes.
I just messed with this one, the
The
spinner. Yeah.
Anybody can do this?
It's probably in there.
Can you do this one, Tommy?
Um,
Is there anybody who's a Rubik's Cube person? I'm not. I just think it looks great.
I can do one side.
You
I
can
can
do
get
one
one
side.
side done.
Okay, there we go.
I can
One
use
time.
it one. Don't ask me how I did it.
For the field goals, then we had one at the end.
That's only one
Am I
six.
logged on?
Tommy.
What can I take
Only
for
one
my
six.
I had $1,000.
Really?
Yeah, and I thought it was a new thing.
Make
Have you
that-
seen the inflatable?
So who's
Oh,
logged on?
yeah.
Put them inside and they kind of rock
Yeah.
and
That's Jenny's.
stuff,
Oh, that's Jimmy?
side to side.
That's
And then I have one that's a little bit bigger and I got her like a chill blow and then she.
Where's the pin drive? Where's the pin drive?
They like that, like, the hugging,
In here?
that part of it.
Is it plugged in, Joe?
Yeah, the only thing is that the chill blow didn't have like an inflatable machine
Oh.
to inflate it, so it's really hard to
Yeah.
be outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a biggie.
Alright.
When I was at the
No, it's a noise.
high school, we had to, we used like weighted blankets and we had different things.
Now we left the log off.
Utilize, but it was always interesting to see what
It wasn't the white one
kids
that I-
like found themselves like guided to. This like almost killed me. I was like, I can't. I mean, I will support it. I would show you one, but I am not. Has anybody figured out what these are?
Yes. And Chris,
No.
No? Gotta figure out what that is.
I think you can scratch it.
Yeah, you can scratch it.
Not-
You can make artwork with it.
Not log off and then I have it in my files. Log me on.
You can use your nail, you can use your. I even had, I forgot him up there, the noise canceling headgear. I'd like to put those in some of our centers, even, just at least even being visible, cause it sends a message that we're hearing you, like we're vibing with you. If you need something from us, we got you, because, you know, there's a lot of times, especially kids on the spectrum, they wanna go to different activities, they'll try different activities, but then they get overstimulated, and so we need to like bring it back down, and so we wanna make sure we provide that kind of space and
That's
time.
one of the issues going on at United, at the district right now.
Yeah.
About one of those sensory.
Yeah. Yeah, we have, actually, I meant to talk about that. We have 2 sensory rooms here. One in Faskin and one at Evelyn, and,
Really?
yeah, the one at Faskin is great. It's a little bit of a space that is, it's in a senior center, and they're like, you know, listening to like Selena and stuff, so it's like a little, I know that they've created some in libraries. I think ultimately that's probably the better space for some of them, but, just because of the noise and movement, but, the one at Faskin is definitely worth going to see. It's fabulous.
My boss is on the library advisory committee for the city also, and that's one of the conversations that they've had, is to incorporate it
Yeah.
into,
So,
cause there's
lock
less
up-
libraries
lock
and
up
there's
the
rec
thing.
centers.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're able to fund it through that.
Yeah.
uh,
Also-
It's
Y'all get
been, yeah, it's
commercial.
been mentioned.
Yeah,
I
because
put
like
it
for
here,
the one like in
and I
Faskin
asked her
specifically
to
is,
add
it's in the senior center, and they're like, also it's loud, right? There's like a partition, and you love that
So she
needs to be
said,
there.
already done. and
But
put it
I
there.
went to even go see if
It's-
there's a space like in that library. I actually feel like there's a good space there, but it's a cool sensory room. I mean, it's neat, and you know, I love all that stuff. I'm a believer in like maker spaces and tinkering stuff, because that's stuff that is all inclusive, meaning everybody can participate in that. And you know, we're gonna be balancing adaptive classes versus creating,
Yes,
you know,
that's it.
classes that are inclusive.
And for a long time, this work is
Tony.
important, because for a long time, the
Yeah,
stigma.
Yeah, I know, man,
Peace and
I'm
rec
too
Peace
short.
and
has always
I'm too
been,
short.
it's only
I'm
for
gonna get
athletic
it. I'm gonna
folks.
get it.
It's only for,
Yeah, no,
it's only
we
for,
need to- yeah.
And it is correct to really include everybody, and so everybody can feel included and have something for everyone.
Yeah, and also you learn a little bit something from everyone. You know, like I like people on my team who can finish the Rubik's Cube. Oh!
I got one side, like I said.
I gotta take a picture.
It was already,
No, don't show
I
the
saw,
other.
I saw that side already done.
When he
Okay,
picked it
let me,
up.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, just to give you an update, I'm gonna show a video of our update. It's finally coming to life now. We're planning opening day. Well, not opening day. Let's take it back. It's full of the data completion is middle of May 1st to May 15th, around there. What you're gonna see here is the phase 1 of it, which is the 10 baseball, softball fields, 2 multi-purpose fields. Phase 2 will have another clover, which this is what we call a clover, with a concession stand in there.
So cool.
All right, and then we have, and then another set of multi-purpose fields, which you'll see. This video was taken in November, and then it's maybe about a minute, and then after that, there's another 3.5 minutes was taken in end of this month, end of January.
Yeah.
So we're all excited about it. We're already getting a lot of interest and phone calls from organizations from throughout the state and Mexico that asking already to see what how can they use it and schedule different programs. All right. So, and as a matter of fact, each clover, you'll see it right now, and you can tell which in each of the clovers there's a championship field. The championship field has the City of Laredo logo. All right, I followed, and I say I because I kind of have put my finger in it, my footprints in it. Is I wanted to follow the same schematic as Unitrade. If you go to Unitrade, they call it the Laredo design, because as a former baseball coach, you have to have 4 colors on the field, right? So the 4 colors would be light green, dark green, the camel infield, and the warning track is terracotta, a dark red. All right, so hey, who came up with that? So the company Hellas called it the Laredo design. So I wanted to keep the tradition, and this design is exactly designed the way Unitrade, because I was also involved in the design of Unitrade. So so it's all gonna look. That's the way they're all gonna look. I'm gonna play the video, but I think pretty much that's the update. They're talking now about possibly going into phase 2, because they're thinking about, well, the company's there. It'll be a lot cheaper to having to get all the trailers and everybody that is already there. It will cut the cost almost about 1/3 if they were to come back 5 years from now.
Correct.
And build phase 2. So it's in the talks that, but my biggest question was, will it affect phase one? Well, if you do phase two, the operations of it. And no, it will not affect, we can still operate phase one without getting interrupted with phase two if they move that route.
In other words, you'd be able to open phase one while the start of phase two.
You'll just fence it out.
operations go.
Phase two is on the further east side, which is, more this way, or more towards this way, where phase two would be, to the east side. So that's the, we're looking at here, that's 45 million. A lot of the money, it was 45 million, because a lot of the money, it was to bring all the utilities in. It was just pure ranch land. So they had to bring utilities from the Cuatro Vientos, that area, run it into utilities. So a lot of that was all the utility part. If they go to phase two, it'll be half the cost of that, which would be about 20 million to build the 5 more fields and the 2 more multi-purpose fields. Guys, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a big investment, but it's gonna give it back in return a lot, because our problem challenge is gonna be that there's not enough hotels where people are gonna wanna come and use this facility, so. But I'm just gonna show you a quick video. I know I don't wanna keep you here very long. This was taken so you can see the complex how it looks right now. Go ahead, Joe.
Are you the narrator, coach?
So this over here is Cuatro Vientos Highway, the one you see on this side. Over here on this side. That's Cuatro Vientos. This is this is back in November. Clover number 1 was just being finished. Clover number 2. So all this had to be cleared out, remove dirt and all that, as you can see, so it was quite challenging. The 2 multi-purpose fields, which you'll see, that was in November. You'll see right now in January how much each Clover will have a concession stand with dressing rooms, big old concession stand, all the IT stuff. They're gonna put some, of course, we need to put cameras and all that. So, which we call the Clover.
Right, that's so cool.
That's great.
Another thing that
It's huge. It's big area.
Another thing that we did, and Tommy and I guess being former coaches as well, we designed it to where here in this field, we can play 18U, 14U, 16U, different age groups can be played. We can move the fences in and out, so that, and you're gonna see right now how the bases as well.
That's crazy.
There's gonna be a fire station right up there.
Right,
now.
there's a fire station and a police station that's gonna be built over there too as well.
No, that's cool, that's nice.
That's the cities or the counties?
Cities.
The cities?
For viewing, how are you guys orchestrating the viewing?
There's
Is there, like,
benches,
stands?
like
Okay.
bleachers.
There are
There's gonna be
bleachers. There's
bleachers.
gonna be bleachers.
Yeah. You don't see them here yet?
That's a crease, that's January now.
Oh, okay, so.
Oh, wow.
There's the 2 multi-purpose fields up there. That's for soccer, flag football, rugby. I designed, and I got this from there's a little infield there, Mark, that you can have baseball, you can do whatever we're overflow. We can use those fields for baseball as well. So that we put the tick marks. We put tick marks on to do an infield. And then these fields, see how that one has a logo? That's a championship field. Those fields also have tick marks to play soccer in it. So whenever we have an overflow of soccer team, we can use the baseball fields to play soccer, because they're gonna be, we put tick marks on it. And when you get a closer look at the bigger, you're gonna see how there's 3 different sets of bases, so that different age groups can use that field. We have it over, if we have a big tournament of 10U, we can use a big field, we just put portable fencing. You can always bring the fences, you can always move the fences back, but you can't move them in.
Now,
So-
for those that are interested already, Coach, you said that have been calling, you can already start booking. Let's say you're gonna open up in June.
In June. So what we've done, I already have some of those dates, Mr. Vasquez. So I've got dates. Now the $1 million question now is who's gonna run it, right? We have a management company that got hired, sports facility management, that runs different sports complexes throughout the nation.
We heard those presentations, but did
Oh, you
council
were in
approve?
it, right,
Did
right. So
council
council
approve?
approved for phase 1 for them to be as consultants.
Yeah.
And then, there's no contract now for them to actually run it yet. councils, we gotta decide here soon because we're about to open in about 4 or 5 months from now. So they gave a prep, actually we spoke about it this morning, they gave us a request, how much they will charge to operate. So, you know, like any management company, they're pricey, they're about $1 million a year to run it, right? They're guaranteed they will, you know, they're gonna bring some tournaments in and all
That
that
includes
stuff.
the upkeep of the field and
Yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
The upkeep of the field is very minimal, because it's turf. It's all turf. And unit trade, you can win it with one guy because it's very minimal that you have to do.
Well, unit trade is a little bit unique
Ah,
part
yeah,
because
because
it's got
it
the
is.
mound
Yeah.
and it's got the home plate area, all of that is dirt. These are different. This is all turf, 100%. So the pitcher's mound, they're portable mounds. You can actually move them forward, like Coach said, if you're playing the younger kids, and you can move it further back if you're playing with older kids as well.
Right. So see, now you can see the better design. You see how this one, see how they're multicolored, and this is the championship field. They all have their bleachers, as you can see right here. Aquí tenemos sus, nowadays, what they're doing when you go to these tournaments, everybody brings their lawn chair. So we put it in layers to where you just bring your lawn chair and you're sitting down like a stadium seating. Only the championship fields, this championship field is and the other one are actually gonna have bleachers like with
We saw the 3 bases right there.
oh yeah, we saw three bases. Yeah. So,
Chihuahua.
yeah, you can see that there's 3 sets of bases there.
Yeah.
You see that? So that way we can play different age divisions. Here, this is a 12U. I'm sorry, this is a 12U, a 14U, and then you're 18 and over at 90 feet per the bases. So that's how it's designed. And we guess our experience comes in as working with athletics and know how we can maximize the use of these fields. So now the challenge, now the question is how it's going to be managed, and we're just waiting on see what direction. I just got back from Round Rock on last Thursday. The council members went up there because they have a sports facility, and we went to go see their 5 council members went to that. They treated us like kings over there. They gave us a great presentation, and the guy saw this. I said, "Man, you guys are doing it right, man. You guys." And the second question, who owns all that land? They go, "Well, it's privately owned." I said, "They're about to be multimillionaires, man, because that thing is gonna be." There's gonna be always people that are gonna invest, build hotels and all that.
Right around there.
Yep, all around that area. So, 200 acres were donated, all right? 200 acres were donated. 150 acres took the field. 50 acres are not being touched. In case we ever decide to build a water park, that's where the water park is gonna go. So those 50 acres that will be extra there. So, yeah, so that's further down the road. So yeah, so that's the update on the Buena Vista Sports Complex. Hopefully you got to see a good
And
video.
you said anticipated time, would be
Beginning of May.
early May.
Early May.
Okay.
That's good. And if they want to reach out they can reach out to me. I'm kind of thinking, for now, I'm the one that's taking the dates and all that.
Okay.
Yep.
This is not gonna be one of those free items, right, for the city?
That's it. Okay, and that's where you have to talk to your council members and tell them, all right, guys, we built a $45 million. Aquí van a querer, they're gonna, hey, pues que presten el complex.
No,
Not this
nah,
one.
Not this one.
that.
man. This is
The
a
base
big
is
investment.
available, the base is available.
Yeah,
Over there.
yeah. And I'll share something really quick, and Tommy, correct me if I'm wrong on this. Eagle Pass has a sports complex too, not as big as this one. I think they have 5 fields and 2 soccer fields. And they tell us, Coach, whether you guys run it or a management company run it. The biggest issue we have is, acá los council members lo prestan todo gratis. You have to put an ordinance that there cannot be used, just lent out. And right now it's a free for all over there. Que porque estos van a ir, no, this team is gonna go compete,
Eagle Pass.
in Eagle Pass. They're gonna go compete at the national level because they're gonna represent Eagle Pass, and they need to practice all week. So lend them the complex. So that's where
Yeah.
money can be used. And I know it's for local use. Again, these are not our taxes. This is coming from the quarter-cent tax from the hotel motel. Okay, so they can say, eso no es taxes hotel. No, it's not. It comes into the sports venue tax that gets a quarter-cent from the hotel motel. All right, that money can only be used for the sports complex, for unit trade, the arena, and
Convention visitor.
and the convention visitor, right? Not even the Max can use that money.
Because that topic of the ordinance should start coming up. Coach.
And I just been a big powwow with city managers this morning about that. So we better start do it now because everybody's licking their chops thinking this is gonna be a free baby over here.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's gonna be our biggest challenge is get no freebies, because this is gonna take away what we're really, I mean, okay, give them, so the plan is Monday through Thursday, you give them a local fee, right? Okay, well, at a minimum, I know I'll go with something, and then weekends, big tournaments, that's where the money maker's gonna be, big
And I
tournaments.
think nonstop, you know, at least,
Yeah,
at least.
you
a
can
hundred
generate,
opens.
if it's run right, you can generate, I put the math to this. If you have cause on that complex there, you can host about 120 teams. So I did the math, I'm gonna go through all these math stuff. You can generate on a weekend, one weekend with concession stand and everything, all the fees, you can generate about $350,000 a month, a weekend. A weekend, wow.
A month.
No, a weekend.
A weekend.
A weekend, 300,
300 to 350,000.
Having all 120 teams.
having a.
100, anywhere between 100 and 100 teams, which that's what was our biggest fight was, you wanna make this bid, you better have 10 fields. And then they were talking about, well, let's go to Gretchen and make it cheaper. No, now, I'm a coach, I have a travel team, I'm going every day weekend, I have a travel team with 15, alright? Guess what, I got Eagle Pass that has turf, and I got Laredo that has grass. I'm gonna guarantee you that I'm gonna spend, each team spends about the average about $4,000 a weekend. Okay, with travel and everything. I'm gonna go guarantee where I'm gonna play the game with turf instead of having a grass field that I don't know if it's gonna have, we're gonna have that weather. So why am I gonna make that expense? So if you wanna go apples with apples, we better turf it. I had some resistance, but that was the best thing we could have done. That was the best thing we could have done.
Yeah, that issue is gonna be,
That's gonna be the biggest.
yeah.
So if you ever talk to, whenever you talk to your city council members, tell them, hey, please let's take care of this, and they'll make it free before.
Yeah.
Not that I want to sound. It's just that it's gonna defeat the purpose of what it's for.
Alright.
Okay. Any questions? We're good. I think that was a good little update on
That's awesome.
this win. All right, good.
What was the plan for like the parking situation for it?
Monday?
What was
There's a parking lot.
Cause I see
There's-
like 120 teams, I'm like, the parking.
Yeah, no. There's a parking lot. There's a parking lot to hope to. You can't see it yet, but it's gonna come up. There's gonna be enough parking. There's gonna be an area for food trucks, so people can. We're gonna have concession with food trucks. Just put those food trucks parked around there.
It's really nice.
Yeah, no, it's done. It was done right, guys. It was done really. It was done right. So, okay.
I'm gonna show them real quick. This is the parking lot right here, all of this area. All of that area right there.
And they think they want to do the phase 2 parking lot over here on this side. Okay.
Phase 2 parking lot is down here.
Right.
Yeah, cause, there's gonna be 2 parking lots because it takes you to 2 different sides of the highways, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, actually, the only entrance that we're gonna have for right now is gonna be the one on Wormser Road, or what is it called, I'm sorry.
Yes, Wormser. Loma del Sur. Loma del Sur.
Which that one's already
Cuatro
paved.
vientos?
Cuatro Vientos Road, which is that one, right there.
Correct.
That's Cuatro Vientos Road. This is the only entrance and exit that we're gonna have. The one that is towards the loop,
Sir, by the way, there's 3 natural pond lakes.
Yeah.
We're gonna build, one of them is gonna be built an amphitheater. To have like a
I
little,
was gonna ask like
yeah,
about
there's gonna be amphitheater and a hike and bike trail going around it. That's gonna be built there as well.
So that's Cuatro Vientos. That's a development that is already happening in that corner, and that's Loop 20. This exit is really gonna be only an emergency exit, and it's for the fire and police department that are gonna be there. They're the only ones that are gonna be accessing that road. That's what they've told us.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There's there's a second lake, little lake right there.
they have 3 ponds around
Yeah,
here.
3 ponds.
Freshman Tapaya.
Yeah.
So right about
That's
here,
the loop? No, it's behind.
Behind
There's a
that.
loop. It's,
so again, parking lot over there, that's the entrance and exit,
That's Wormser, right?
Monday?
That's Wormser, the one that you pointed right now.
No, that is Cuatro Vientos, Coach.
No.
Cuatro Vientos is the one that goes from 83 all the way past Loop 20
Okay.
and that way. Wormser is acá, mira. That thin one right there,
if you
Oh.
try,
That's
if you
one.
try passing the ninth grade template, you'll see it, cause it's one of the ones that you do.
so all of this is parking lot, that big square right here.
It's on the opposite side.
parking lot.
On the opposite side.
Of the Ninth Street campus.
That's
The
right.
stripes that- and
Okay, sorry,
It's after the.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's already paid.
take us back, but there it is.
Alright.
Well, that's
Okay.
awesome, coach.
Go back to the zip drive to get the, ADA. Please, Joe.
We'll go, we'll move on to number three,
Managing.
Mr. Lawson.
The managing.
North Central Park.
We're gonna, move on to the update on the North Central ADA Park of the Phase 2. Which that one's the salamander, right? The salamander design.
Salamander. So as you all know, this project started a few years ago, and we finished phase 1 last year. And we had a very strong donor, Mr. Beto Gutierrez, who gave us $300,000 last for phase 1, and we used all the funds. He came back and said, okay, I'm ready, what else can we do? And so we already had this design for phase 2, and of course, just to recap, the reason it's a salamander is because the salamander adapts, which is why this was very appropriate for an ADA park. And so Mr. Gutierrez came back and said, I'm ready, you know, what can I do to help? And so he came back, we talked about the parking lot that was necessary from the existing parking lot all the way to Sweden. And so, we were talking about the ADA, well, how much are you looking at? And so he said, I'll give you $550,000
Uh-huh.
to finish the ADA and
Cash.
to do the parking lot in
Right?
cash,
Yeah, we cash.
in cash.
I know that he had done the land, no, he had done something that wasn't cash, right? On the first donation.
No, on the first one, he gave cash as well,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah. He gave cash to assist, and he also gave cash to do the Divine Mercy, the basketball court,
Alright.
and helped with the restrooms. So, he's our friend.
Yeah.
He's
That's
a
a-
very strong park supporter.
He's a previous owner of Armadillo Homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He believes definitely in giving back to your community, so he's trying to incentivize his other cohorts, previous, you know, developers and what have you, to do the same. And unfortunately, you know, Brittingham family and others and stuff, and unfortunately, they're not being very receptive, so.
Yeah, no.
I think we need to send out a little
Yeah,
doo-doo-doo-doo.
yeah.
How well can you do? This one
Look
is
what
so-
they're doing, look what
right?
he's doing.
That's what we're
Yeah.
looking at. So this is a salamander, and so right now what we've got is this phase, and this is the playground. This is the parking lot. The parking lot is now complete. This is gonna be a covered walkway. This is going to be a grass berm, so kids can climb up and roll down. You've got water parks, water features, instruments for sound. And so this is the completion. It's gonna have 2 entrances. It's hooking up to this entrance. This is the original entrance. It's hooking up this is not the final, but it's hooking up to the playground that's here, so it's gonna be hooking up to the existing sidewalk, if you will. So, we're looking at a completion. Bids went out, January. The bids were open January 31st. There was one, bidder, Certuche. They won the award. We had $1.2 million to spend on this, this project. The bid came in at $1.8 million. So we'll be able to proceed.
That's awesome.
No, 1.18.
I'm sorry, 1.18.
Oh, they
I'm
can't-
sorry.
that
No.
was the number.
I know.
I know, yeah.
No, they came under $200,000 less,
Less.
yeah, so they hit the magic number. Yes.
And it's a,
It's been a long
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
it's a, park that you all had included on the proposed, budget for this fiscal year? Or is that
We had
Aside from the donation from him,
Yes,
CIP.
it was a CIP project, and we had $1 million. And so we knew we needed $200,000. And so when Beto gave us a call, what else do you all have going on? And, well, we need this, you know, would you like to complete the project? He goes, yes, that's what I wanted to do since we had the grand opening for the first phase. So that's how this, is able to be completed. So bids were opened. Septuche will be given the pre-construction date meeting will be held following the notice to proceed. It's gonna take 130 working days. So.
You have something else like that? Because I
No.
wanna show them.
No.
Go ahead.
So we're looking at 5 months, I think, roughly, cause it's
Hundred and
working,
30 days?
it's a working days, which means only Monday through Friday, that's
Yeah.
20 a month.
So 20 divided, I'm sorry, 130 divided by
6
20,
months.
so 6 months.
About 6 months to complete the project. But we're really excited about that. I know a lot of people in the community have asked, and they all use it, which is why
It is
the
very
councilman has
used.
commented, this isn't a District 6 park. This is a citywide park, just as North Central Park is a citywide park.
I'm gonna just kinda share with something with you guys, ahorita, because I know this is a kind of a, not a debate, but it's what our plan for the future is, okay? Because this, my donation is also gonna help Divine Mercy. So the bigger picture, okay? The bigger picture, let me start from the north and work my way south. This is the north rim, what we call, this is North Central Park North, right behind Murphy's. ¿Verdad? Y'all with me?
Yeah.
Alright, aquí está Concentrics and, what? So this is North Central Park North. As we go south along the trail, I keep on going south, where the cursor is.
That's at the John Bosco.
Yep, I say John Balls, I'm going south, there's a trail, we're coming there, and we hit San Isidro Parkway, there goes Jim, right? Okay, we cross over, we're still in North Central Park. Now we go to the central part of North Central Park. This is where where we have the Kite Festival, right? Right adjacent to that is we have Chimayo.
Chimayo Park.
Chimayo Park is right in here.
Playground right there.
Right here, this is Chimayo. Okay, here comes the trail. Alright, I'm going south. Coming to the trail, alright, here's the dog park there. Acá está la entrada, aquí está el pool and all that. Y'all with me? Right?
88 Park.
88 Park, this is where the Phoenix Two is coming. As we keep going south, alright, there's a little pond, Abigail Dominguez pond right here. Now, the scope is, we're going to connect a trail, hike and bike trail, to head west underneath McPherson. There's a bridge underneath McPherson right there by Pollo Palenque. Or pues Pollo Palenque, it's right here, aquí está Pollo Palenque. Mariscos. Right underneath there, we're gonna connect, head west, and now we're gonna get us into the Shiloh hike and bike trail, which there's right now. As you can see here, we got a grant, we're gonna connect, right now we got phase 1 of the grant. We're gonna do a walkway that's gonna connect Springfield now, the new Springfield Road, that's gonna connect up here. Phase 2 of the Shiloh hike and bike trails is to continue, here it is, to continue this trail up here, connect it, keep going west along that new trail that we got a grant for, turn north on Springfield, and here's the multi-purpose fields of Divine Mercy, and then head into Divine Mercy will now be, it's still gonna be good Divine Mercy, but that's North Central Park West,
Oh, wow.
okay? And here we're currently building 6 pickleball courts. Alright, so the overall view is to do all that connectivity.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And by the way, the donation from Beto Gutierrez
Right.
is also helping to pay for the parking lot here.
Because this is one of the biggest issues, that if you drive here at night, it is packed. This field here is always packed. Now we're gonna have 6 pickleball courts, so the biggest calls that we get, complaints, is because of parking. So now the money that was left over from the donation, we're gonna use now, if you drive now, we're gonna build a parking lot here, so that North Central Park West, which is Divine Mercy.
How much of that is parkland of where the church is at? It stops like
So-
right behind, because I know that the courts
The
are
trail,
connected to the.
That's a park.
That-
That's private property.
That's all, from here to here is all church, this is all the diocese.
Uh-huh.
All of that.
All
Oh, that's the
I forgot to-
Because then
email
they've been
back.
in the works already also for some time on rebuilding or doing a church or something.
They were supposed to build a church, from what I understand,
A shrine or something.
shrine, some kind of shrine or something like that. I know Chief Landines was the deacon for the, and they're in the process of building a shrine church, kinda like that.
How many total miles is todo from point A to?
If we were to do the whole connection?
Yeah,
Okay, so from, cause I got this down, from Murphy's, I have to the very north,
Yeah.
all the way down south, straight shot is 2.2 miles. Okay, straight shot, without doing all the curves and all that.
Yeah.
Straight shot. So más o menos le estaba figurando, if you hit all the way across over here, you're close to about 4.5 miles. 4 to 4.5. Going through hike and bike trails and all that good stuff. So that's the overall, plan picture, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So
It is.
We're working on grants, and of course, Commissioner Jenny, money, right? Right, that's what it's gonna, but I think we're working well with economic development, by, hitting up Texas Parks and Wildlife with some grants, and, making this thing, again, I heard Nathan through this is not just a District 6 park, guys, this is a whole city. I go there and I take my grandkids there, and I see all over town, all over, people from all over the city, come over here.
And as your team grows, Coach, that, I know that we have had in previous years conversations about that your department needs to have a grants person.
Yes.
And a dedicated, because that there's money out there through the Texas Park and Wildlife System, through the Texas A&M agricultural system, through HUD and all this money that's out there, and that you all need to have your own dedicated grants person.
Right.
For it, because then first you all are the experts. You identify the area that you want to do the investment in, how much it's going to cost you, because the city grants office or the economic development office, that they're when they're coming up with all these costs, they might not necessarily know as to what you all are envisioning and being able to put it out there. I've been in meetings. I've been in meetings, and I think that it's the best. It's the best thing that y'all would be able to do is to have that suggestion for the next fiscal year.
Right.
Is to have that office, within you all.
También, Coach, another thing that we've talked about before is enough people to go cut the grass in these places.
Yeah.
Like you're growing and growing and
additional
growing, which is
land.
awesome, but we
Staffing.
we need the staff
Right.
to do
So
it.
just to kind of give you an idea, on the last budget presentation that we did, NRPA, which is National Parks and National Recreation,
Parks Association.
National Recreation Park Association suggests that you have one groundskeeper or maintenance guy for every 10 acres of parkland that you're supposed to take care of. We currently have one groundskeeper for every 20 acres that we have. So we're behind.
Yeah.
We're double. They're doing double the work of the acres that, according to the national, what's recommended.
What is he doing?
All right,
Which
so-
is why sometimes we fall behind.
Yeah.
Right.
We fall behind
I still
sometimes.
think it's so good. I'm a fan. Y'all know it. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be the first one, but I'd be like, oh my god, the bathrooms are clean. Like, it's still amazing.
Yeah.
That more people-
And that's what we're trying to get that, we just this budget, we got 10 new employees, 10 more groundskeepers with a crew leader, so we're working that way, I think it's starting to recognize that.
Yeah.
But our goal is to hopefully add 15 new employees every budget, hopefully we can get there. One thing we are getting away from, and I'm getting off subject here a little bit, one thing that we're trying to get away from, and now that we have Liz here as a park planner, is we're trying not to do any more of those pocket parks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those little pocket parks take up a lot of time. We're trying to get, whenever developers give us money, you know what, let's put the money into a bigger regional park, which in this case, it's somewhere in the north, like I live by San Isidro. Hey, San Isidro, instead of giving us money to do another little pocket park, let's put some money into North Central Park.
Yeah.
As long as within the radius of the area, we can do that, okay? So we're trying to get away, because those pocket parks killed us.
Yeah.
Además de bajar el equipo, subir you'll do what, maybe we'll do 2 pocket parks, maybe 3 a day if we're lucky.
There was more time spent in travel and loading and unloading equipment than there is actual work getting done.
So we're trying to get away from those. Yeah. Okay?
Hey, Doctor, last one, did we ever re-meet with the planning and zoning? Remember we were having that?
Yes.
that,
Yes, well, last meeting that we had,
On the fee.
on the fees, yeah. So we got
Hasn't been
it,
approved, right?
no, it has not, it has not. We're going to, I know Liz came up with a little formula, and what we wanna come up with. I hate to get off subject, but we can show you the next meeting for sure. And maybe we can just focus on that, cause that's gonna be a little tedious to explain. So that we can, because we did get pushback, as you know, from the developers, given out there, because it's gonna be, it's gonna be a change, you know? Council members, and let's be honest, let's call it as it is. No, they didn't want to stir the water because there's re-election for a lot of them,
Yes, sir.
right? So, and they didn't wanna, so now they got elected, okay, now let's do it now,
Now that
right?
they're
So-
complete,
So now they're willing to change the fees and let the next guys take the hit for it, right?
Yeah.
The ones that the next person, so we're getting ready to present here in the next couple of months to go take it to go. But I'd like to show it to you all, so that, and que quedamos, we kind of met in the middle with not too high, not too low, but we did the due process, and now we're gonna, we'll meet on next week, next month, we'll meet on that one, just on that, okay?
Bottom line, we're still raising the rates.
Oh, good.
Yes,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you guys needed it.
Yes.
okay.
And Ms. Stanley was, you were on the ADA, on the phase 2 part. Is there
Okay.
anything else?
So, no, contract will allow, as I said, for 130 working days. And they're close to they're just executing documents and what have you. So, right, sorry.
Long day.
I was very, reading through all
It
of
has
this.
been, so, and, well, thank you, Ms. Stanley, and, number 4, we have the status report on the intercity pool shade.
Okay, intercity pool shade, we have a bidder that came in. We are looking at $417,000. This is for the intercity pool, the shade over the pool. So engineering is working on that, the company is working on the bonds and execution of contract. This project is gonna take 120 working days.
As you all know, intercity pool is closed. It's the year-round pool that we have. We're going through because of the shade. We're doing some reconstruction, rebuilding, remodeling kind of deal, that we're doing there. Hopefully we'll have it, the goal is to up and coming again in March. Is that about right? That's what we had talked about, to have it running again?
Right, but at the length of time it took for this project to go out for bid and back and forth and what have you, it was delayed. So we're looking at
5.5 months.
5.5 months. So you're looking at from now. Because all they have to do is bring back the contract, execute it and get the bonds. So you're looking at maybe June.
Which is when we open most of our pools, Coach.
Yeah, well, which is what, but we use that a lot for programming for the adults. And
Right.
I've been getting phone calls and phone calls,
Right.
so.
Anonymous.
I'll
wait,
stop
I'll
calling,
wait.
Jane?
Coach, maybe we can do programming at another facility.
Yeah.
We do that right now.
We do.
We're doing that right now. We're
But,
doing it at LC, we're doing it at
Yeah,
North Central.
no, it's
It's
Still
just-
not enough?
no,
No.
you just, they're stuck with the inner city.
And they don't like.
We
the
do
travel.
offer at Laredo College, 'cause we have an MOU with them. We offer at Haynes, North
North Central.
Central. We use Bartlett, but no, get in inner city. So, yeah. Even some of my close friends, I hear it every once in a while.
We get calls, complaining.
Just today?
Yep.
Yes, so anyway, going back to North Central, I do apologize, that contract's going to council in March, the first meeting in March.
Okay? I think Mr.
Number 5,
Number 5.
Coach, update on the requirements for 2025 league contract.
Yeah, and I'm glad, while Joe sets up, Joe will present it, Joe is our athletic supervisor. He's the one that works with.
Superintendent.
Superintendent. No, I'm off today, guys. You just got demoted, Joe.
Yeah, I know.
I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Supervisor.
So, we're, as you know, we have a contract with all these leagues, and so I don't, you know, you work, got on calls and baskets también. The contract runs with the leagues from March the 1st to the middle of December.
December 15.
December 15. We let the fields being used for free, as long as they meet the checklist that you're about to see right now. The biggest challenge, the biggest concern, and this is where we need to inform the people that have the kids play soccer or little league, is that in the contract, and he's just gonna go over the bullets on your end. The biggest calls that we get is, hey, how come the fields are in bad shape, or how come the fields are, the restroom, something broken? Well, once the contract is initiated, under the contract, the leagues are responsible to maintain the fields. If something is broken, a broken light goes on, or a sprinkler head pops, lighting up, then the city steps in. But the leagues are responsible to take care of the fields. Every once in a while, we'll go in there,
Clean up. Pick up
yeah,
trash.
we'll go and pick up trash. We'll go and pick up trash. But hey, guys, there's trash after a game or a tournament. Don't want to throw it in the bag. Put it on the site. Our guys will go by and pick it up. But our guys are not going to come down and have to clean up every popcorn bag and every cup of soda or every soda can, because guess what? Number one, that's not our responsibility, and number two, you just took away time from our guys that need to go fix a park, and we're picking up trash that your league left there. And then they get the call, no, es que la ciudad, no. The contract is on our website. Everybody needs to be informed what that contract really says. The leagues are responsible for the upkeep of the fields. Okay? So I'll let Joe take over, and then I want to share this with you, because we're about to start on March the 1st.
Yeah, like Coach said, we're getting to that time of the year where the leagues are about to start in March 1st. I already went ahead and sent the copies of the requirements, the checklist, and also the league agreements for them to go ahead and turn in. This is basically the checklist that they need to submit to us.
The most important one of all, they have to be a 401c.
Yeah, 501c.
501c, I'm sorry. They have to have their own 501c. They have to turn in their financials now. They're real strict about being their financials, because all of a sudden, back in the days, everybody's there to make a profit, so we have to turn in their financials. And they have to be affiliated with someone. They have to be affiliated either with Pony, they have to be affiliated with Little League, they have to be affiliated with USSSA, they have to be affiliated with Perfect Game, Babe Ruth, they have to be affiliated with Super Series. They just can't, I'm gonna open up a league. Okay, that we're not trying, we're emphasizing that very, very much so. Okay.
So yeah, this is basically the checklist, like he said, like Coach mentioned, it's just an assistant request. The 3 signed agreements with the league president, they already sent it to them, and they're supposed to be turning in the 3 copies, original copies.
Let me answer, Joe. This was implemented 2 years ago, and this is the one that we get another second the most calls. Hey, but we pay $10 for every kid that we charge the league $10 for every kid that signed up to help us offset dirt, whatever. We don't even, it's not even a drop in the bucket.
It's a supplemental.
To subsidize what we use, right? Not even a drop in the bucket. La Pura Luces, and correct me if I'm wrong, we spend over $600,000 just on light bill a year. We don't even, between all the leagues, and Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, we might maybe get $35,000, $40,000 with all the $10. But, guess what they say? Hey, ¿y esos $10 dónde se van?
Yeah.
How come this field doesn't look like Minute Maid?
Yeah.
How come this field, you know? How come, y esos $10, ¿qué hace la ciudad?
The complaints are
They think that they paid the $10 that their field is gonna look like Minute Maid, right? No, we'll help it, believe me, the biggest equipment in sports is the field. I'm a big proponent, as an ex-coach, I understand that, but hey, take some pride, take some ownership to your field. Take care of it. I was going, my guys, hey, Orly, you have water, you have reg, and guess what? Those kids, you teach them how to be responsible, how to appreciate your fields, It's a teaching moment for you guys. You know, you finish a game, you go and you look at their dugouts. Parece el carnaval de WBCA que se acaba, que viene ahorita. But yet, hey, the city doesn't pick up. No, guys, that's your responsibility. Teach your kids that. Go pick up your equipment. Be responsible. I had a rule. You always leave the place cleaner than when you left it.
Yep.
But coach, that's not mine. I don't give a crap. I don't. You leave it cleaner than when you left it. That's a rule.
Cleaner than when.
Cleaner
you found it.
than when you found it. But that's not ours. I don't care. You're gonna pick it up. All right. That's just, and guess what? To this day, a coach, one of my career into my coach, remember Smith, I do the same thing with my kids. It's a learning lesson. It's
Okay.
you teach them responsibility, right? Unfortunately, now a lot of kids, and I hate to say this, it's entitlement for them. Eso de la ciudad, es el custodian que viene. No, man, that's not what it's about. Right? I'm sorry, I went off on that.
No, we've even had moments where they are under the impression that the $10 fee, it's like when they pay for the kids, it's a rental fee. And then they're like, whenever I rent a house, it better be in good shape. I'm like, so I mentioned it to them, okay, so we just spent $60,000 on the lighting and this certain part, your $2,000 is not gonna cover for all of these. I mean, you gotta be realistic. And they feel like entitled, like Coach said, they feel entitled that the park, the fields are there, they're renting it, and I'm like, no, it's a supplemental fee. It's something that just, it's gonna help us
Offset
a
little bit
what we're spending. But that's one of the issues that we've had, and I have a copy of just certain points from the agreement that it's basically, or obligations, some of the obligations for the leagues, just so I know you're gonna be, council members are gonna be getting those phone calls. Phone calls are gonna be throughout the whole year, because complaints are always gonna be there, but just some of the obligations that we have. Basically, first one, that city agrees to waive the fees for license, they're getting it for free. They're basically getting the fields, lighting, they're getting basically everything to provide for the youth programs. So, the only thing we're getting from them is basically, like Coach said, the $10 fee that we get back. And also, like I said, like I mentioned, they'll use the water, wastewater, electricity, lights, they get it, we provide it for them. City shall allow advertisement displays facing toward the interior of the field. The duration of this agreement only after the following condition has been met. The advertisement has to be presented to the city for approval and accordance, and that's one of the issues that we also have this year at some, in a couple of fields. They started putting up, signs, just.
From their sponsors.
From their sponsors. And it's, we have to get it approved, and once mentioned to them, they're like, no, it's, you're not letting me sponsor it, they're helping me with field. Yeah, but it has to be approved, you know, it's just, run it through us, we'll go ahead and see if we can get it approved. And the last one, the city will be responsible for cutting and edging the field on scheduled days, not include official city holidays, which is something that also, we get people calling on holidays and, hey, the lights are not on, and I'm like, well, it's in the contract, and we usually, we do really good at edging the fields, schedule the maintenance of the fields, and we even help them with an extra, like the coach said, the responsibility is the leagues, and in the contract, it doesn't say anything for us to do, the wear and tear, it's up to them. We still go and drag the field once a week.
And line it.
Yeah, and line it, and we help as much as we can, and it's time consuming, and that's time that our employees can be taking care of other things at the parks, and we're still helping them with. And this is basically some of the responsibilities, it's not all of them, but some of the responsibilities that leagues have, and recognize the agreement before March 1st, 25, like I said, we're getting to that time. They need to turn in all the paperwork, once approved, then they're to submit a schedule, their practices, games, so we can go ahead and know when to turn on lights, cause sometimes they will submit it and they, hey, the light turned on, oh, did you submit a schedule? Did you submit everything you needed to? Well,
Yeah.
and so there's no way I'm gonna know when to turn on the lights if you don't give me a schedule. And sometimes they give you a schedule and they want for you to turn on the lights on dates they're not supposed to be. And the fields, and the fields, whenever they're not scheduled for the league, it's open for the community. So, and they're like, no, it's the fields, I know, it's, you didn't put it in your schedule, so it's open for anyone in the community.
Sometimes they say they're making up games because of bad weather 2 or 3 weeks before, or 2 or 3 months before.
Yeah. That's, so some of the license only is right, the license area free of charge, scheduled dates, time requested, approved by the city, like I mentioned right now. It's something between, December 15th and March 1st, we have the fields open, for first come, first served basis, because no leagues are supposed to be using it. And then we maintenance half of the fields and the other ones keep it open. And then in January, vice versa, like we open some and we close the other ones for maintenance. And they still wanna be having games and they still wanna be having practices. You don't allow them, you know, they start getting those phone calls, they even threaten you, like, I'm gonna call it a council member, 'cause
But the issue is that that's the only time we have to fully work on the fields and allow time for the grass to grow and so on and so forth. And when they come back to league play in March and they ask, well, why isn't the field ready? Well, we'll remind them, they asked for it to stay open.
no, but it's just I think it's one of the most important ones. The landscape responsible for cleaning and maintaining the fields, facilities before, and after daily usage, that Coach mentioned right now. Failure to maintain the fields and facilities will result in cleaning fee recharge to the leagues. And that's something that they don't understand. They like Coach said, they expect for the city to do the whole cleanup and to do everything for them. And if it's not done, they start making phone calls. And that's one of the things, the issues that we've had. This is just, when like I mentioned, when the fields are closed, they're August 1st to September 1st, maintenance as well. And those are closed completely, all fields are closed. And like I mentioned, from December the 15th through February the 28th, all the way to March 1st, it's on a first come, first served basis. Like I mentioned, we close half and then we maintenance the other half and vice versa. This is also, the licensee is responsible for repairs or damage to the fields caused by their use, wear and tear. The leagues, they're calling it, hey, this is a home plate, the pitching mound, it's not in great shape. Well, it's up to the leagues to go ahead and make sure to repair those damages, to drag it. They expect for us to drag the field, they expect for us to light up the field, they expect for us to go ahead and fix any wear and tear. And it's, once you show them the contract, sometimes some leagues do understand, others are like, no, it's 'cause I'm paying the fee.
Let me share something. And some leagues do a good job of taking care of their fields, okay? If you go to Northwest, Father Magnable, the gentleman over there, hey, I anda todos los días raking it, watering it, taking care of the field. Alright, Al King, the guy Al King, you drive by there, nice field, hey, mira, Al King got a nice, everybody sees Al King on the highway. How come Al King got a field? Because guess what? If you drive there, if you drive by there, the president and his board, I am raking the field, dragging the field. That's why they have nice fields, because they take care of it. They take ownership of they don't even depend on us. We're gonna go help you. If they tell us, hey, we need some dirt, hey, llévales tierra, help them out. Okay, but you look at the leagues, and some leagues are now catching on. Okay, we're responsible. Damos una manguera, but sure, dale una manguera. Why not? But they take responsible, and they complain, well, that field is nice, because they're working on it. They work on it every day. It's taken care of, so.
And it's basically, some of the lineup, that we have for the agreements. There's a bunch of the responsibilities from the leagues, and this is just some of the most important ones that I think it's basically what we get complaints on the fields and the maintenance, on fields not being open, maybe this is maintenance, things like that. And just for you guys to understand some of the requirements or the things that the leagues ask for, I have an example, just a request. This is just one request we got from one of the leagues. They want indoor facility for maximum safety for the youth, which is good. Private gates to avoid public exposure, bleachers for student athletes, water fountains for student athletes, nutritional field up station, lounge area, appropriate dressing rooms, restrooms for boys and girls, dance studios with doors for the girls' privacy, educational showroom for larger classes, recreational weight training room area, which we do have in the rec centers, and safe and gated practice location in the meantime. You know, it's some of the requests from the leagues are really up there, and it's
That request sounds like they want a private place to practice, right? Like like one of those places that you rent and they provide that service for you.
and they
Parks and Rec, guys, come on.
yeah, it's Parks and Rec. And the main reason why I put it up here is because this certain league, when I mention it to them, yeah, we can help you with some of the things. A field, just I send them the checklist, and they're like, well, it's because we don't want to be a city league. Well, then we are not able to help you out because you have to rent the field. You have to rent space.
Then you need to rent the field.
Yeah.
They want to run their business on our fields.
That's basically what they want to do.
They want to run their business on their field.
And I know they called the council member and they copied him in the email, and I know council members sometimes they're concerned, and they send us the email as well, and we try to help out, but a lot of the leagues they don't wanna comply with all the requirements, so it's tough.
This one's extreme, guys.
Yeah.
This one's really the one that we've gotten from all of the other ones that's way over the top.
Yeah.
That one right there. That came from one league, one group is asking for all of that.
What?
There's no way, there's just no way, there's no way for us to provide all of that.
So we try to help as much as we can, but we have to be realistic as well,
Yeah.
so. And those are just some of the examples and some of the points, from the agreements, which, we just want to inform and let you guys know, so when you talk to the council members, it's, I know they're gonna be getting phone calls.
Yeah.
They also are aware of what the requirements for the lease are, and that'll, at least maybe lower the number of calls that they get, or you guys get.
And it's been a challenge because some years back, up to about 4 or 5 years ago, it was a free-for-all. Every league had the keys to the lights, every league,
Yeah.
and they would turn on the lights whenever they wanted to, so little by little, we've been putting the brakes on them, and now, I don't like,
¿Qué tantas leagues son, coach?
Tenemos, lo que viene siendo Little League, we have soccer leagues, we have, 4 leagues running out right now, baseball, we have
Cada
the
league has
pony.
cada league
They
has a
have their own
president,
divisions, yeah.
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Do they sign that they've read all the
Yeah, and the
do's and
contract.
don'ts?
Yeah, and the
They
contract.
should make the coaches sign.
Yeah, cause usually the coaches are the ones calling.
Yeah, cause it's the ones coach.
I think there's a lack of communication in between the president and the
Yeah,
leagues.
yeah, so the president might know all these rules, he'll follow them if he's there, pero si no está,
Yeah,
at least he says, ¿sabes qué, coach? From now on, every one of your coaches needs to sign that they've read and understand these.
correct, and that's what happened once, we got
I like that.
from the adult
And
league.
they turn them into you guys.
Yeah.
At the time that they turn in all the paperwork, que cada coach, cause you guys know what every coach they're gonna have, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Guy, that he signs, he
Because-
understands
because-
every rule.
Because we have to get each coach's background.
Yeah.
Part of the requirements, each
Ahí
coach has to
mero,
have to get clear
que
of
te
their background.
firmen, que te saben las reglas.
Yeah, cause, yeah, like I mentioned, they go away and above
Yeah,
for the
it's crazy.
requirements, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is just an example of what we have to basically go through with, something on a daily basis, from phone calls. Any questions, concerns you may have?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Okay, Mr. Baron, you're.
I think, items for next meeting.
Yes, if you have any, Mr. Vasquez leave?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Fuentes? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Would you want an update on what you had mentioned?
Yes,
I
we
think
talked, we
you-
talked about that.
I think so, yes, sir. That's it.
That on the fees for the.
Yes, sir.
for the-
If that'll take up the whole meeting, but
It's
that's.
probably
the
gonna
only
take
one.
up, it's gonna take a good chunk.
Yeah.
Oh, for the park improvement.
Yeah,
fees.
park improvement fees,
Yep.
the park improvement fees. And, yeah, we'll keep it to where,
We have to have it next meeting, because it has to go to planning and zoning, and then,
we have to come here next meeting, to take it before, and then take it to planning and zoning.
right, so we need to.
We have not gone back with planning and zoning, we gotta take that step now so that we can meet their requirement that we took it to the Parks Board,
Yeah.
we took it to the
To the planning.
to the planning, cause at the end, they're the ones that have to give the best. And again, they can say no, but at the end, council's gonna, they can say yes.
Yeah.
Just because the park, P and Z board says no, that doesn't mean it's gonna stop there, you know, cause I'm pretty sure they're gonna hear it from
Yeah.
the developers. But I think next meeting, we'll focus on that. If we something that needs to put in action, we'll contact you all, that something that needs to get an action item on, and then we'll put it in there, but we'll try to keep it to just for that, for the next meeting,
Yes, sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
And I'll have the meeting within the next week or so with the leagues, so I'll go ahead and, like you mentioned right now, it's a good idea to
I
have.
think that's
Yeah,
the
the
best,
coaches.
I think that's what, you sign the rules, guys, what do you mean, what are you calling for?
Yeah.
Carter Group.
Yeah,
Right.
that's, I think we need to reach out to the ones that are actually on the field, so because, you know,
Yeah.
the presidents, the messes, no
Yeah, so I'll do a signing sheet, I guess, for them to go ahead and have their coaches also sign it, they've acknowledged the contract and they understand.
Okay,
Next one is meeting adjourned.
well, we need to pick a date, when is scheduled for the next meeting,
It's every second Wednesday of every month.
is that spring break, by any chance? That's our kite festival, it's supposed to be
Yeah,
the second
that's
Wednesday,
The 12th is spring break. The 12th, March the 12th is spring break.
which is our kite festival,
Yeah.
that Wednesday.
So we need to do it the week after?
Can
The
we
week
do-
before,
The week
preferably.
before? The
Right.
week before? Okay.
So that we
So
can have
then,
the planning and zoning.
March the 7th?
The 7th is a Friday,
The
Okay,
fifth is
fifth.
Wednesday.
the 5th.
5th.
Cause on a Friday, that way the beer.
You know it.
Green beer.
March 5th. March 5th.
That's 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
2, 3.
See, that's only, it's only
3 instead of 4.
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Well, just because we need
Oh,
to
I
be
have
ready
another one
for
to
the
bring up.
next
Okay.
city
I'm
council.
gonna keep you on your
P&Z.
toes. I'm gonna keep you on your toes at the
And we've
games.
got one topic to cover, so.
We meet
Yeah,
with
yeah, I'm sure you
supervisors
keep it
tomorrow,
very,
so
I
you'll
mean, it's gonna take some explaining, but hopefully we can just focus on that. Okay.
Done?
All right.
Do we need to call for
Adjournment.
adjournment?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Aye,
Second.
second.
Okay. All right, it is, 7:25. 7:25. Thank you all,
Thank you, guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.